hello Galactic family. The Hayat HaKadosh and the Cherubim are in the same relation because they are part of what we call the upper Sephirotic triangle in the Kabbalah. They are part of what you have called thrones, domains, and virtues. The Cherubim of fire are the wheels of fire that are closer to the heart of the Father. They are the ones who will put life into motion in different dimensions and in different manifestations. They are the essential vibration attached to fire, but also to sound. They are those who will precipitate the creation of atoms, the creation of forms in the different worlds. They are responsible for differentiation, for the diversification of life in the incarnation, in this dimension and in all other dimensions. You are from the Cherubim, which is not to say that you are Cherubim, but that the Cherubim set in motion their souls that were clustered together on the level of the central monad that you call GD. The performance of the Cherubim allowed, at the same time, a move away from the source. At one point in time, this withdrawal movement, by their personal choice, decided to experience the separation of the font and the Cherubim by order of the central monad, who decided to assign sound vibrations, allowing them to descend into the worlds of division in which you are. And that was the same for the solar system, this was the same for the stars, in their visible, but also invisible, aspect. Therefore, the Cherubim are the primordial wheels of life. They are the ones that allow the manifold manifestations of life, they are the ones that give birth to the galaxies, which give rise to the suns and the planets. The music of the spheres is the symphony that is heard by the Cherubim of their solar system when they are all working. The Hayat HaKadosh are the fiery beings who are closest to the Father the Source, are beings who never knew the incarnation, who never knew the dimensions below the 11th dimension, are solar beings, are beings of fire, are the Cherubim, are beings that have omniscience, omnipotence, they are able, by a simple look of fire of their being, destroy solar systems, they are able to create the worlds, they faithfully relay the pulsation of the source, they are able to return to them the beings that are lost in the intermediate dimensions. They are, I would say, closer to the source, but they are those, too, who guide the planetary movements, the movements of the suns and the movements of the galaxies. They are the functional elements that allow the manifestation of what you see in heaven. There is a Father/Mother Source, one. There is Metatron guarding the throne. Around his throne are the four living, the Hayat HaKadosh, the Seraphim. They find, in the midst of the unfolding dimensions, in the midst of their dimension, their equivalents, called elements. Each Hayat HaKadosh or primordial Seraphim is related to one of the elements. That of fire, and I will give only this, is called Vihuya. He is the creator of fire genius. Just as you are made up of the four elements, so are you bound to the four living, the four Hayat HaKadosh, so you are bound to four spiritual lines. The four pillars, also called four living, correspond to the four Hayat HaKadosh of the elements, Cherubim and other terminologies. These Cherubim gather from side to side of the throne. They are the higher triangles surrounding the source and Metatron. They are those who will reveal the structural forms in the midst of the worlds. Note the civilization called triangles is not existing, in a specific universe, like the Hayat HaKadosh. They are in all universes, and in all dimensions, without that, there would be no life. Each of its lineages is thus directly derived from the four pillars of the creation of the worlds, in all dimensions, called the four living or four Hayat HaKadosh, represented on this earth by the four Orientals or the four elements. These four pillars support the development of all dimensions, in all universes, in all multiverses, in all superuniverses, and in all dimensions of space. You are, therefore, bearers, likewise, of these four lineages. The Hath HaKadosh, or, if you prefer, what you call the four elements, is what was called by St. John Sri Aurobindo, when he was St. John, for which he saw the four horsemen. It is the term that Metatron also used these four horsemen. It is the Hath HaKadosh commanded by Miguel that becomes your own body, which gives access to what you now call awakening, ultimate transformation, access to the state of being. There are many things that are similar, at that level. This is connected with the action of the Knights of the Apocalypse, which I remind you, are themselves connected to the Hath HaKadosh, to the elements. Each of you has four stellar lines, and each stellar line is revealed, in that time. I have come to forge them, in their eternity, by the fire of love and truth. In this space and in this place, precisely between the new earth and the ancient earth, I propagate the fire, and I call the four cherubim or Hath HaKadosh, coming to reveal to them their igneous and infinite nature, introducing and preceding our 14 meetings to be held every night at 7:0 p.m. in France, one after another: air rider, water rider, earth rider, fire rider, gathering ether now,